Nalin Kohli of the BJP, Kamal Farooqi, is joining us tonight. Prem Shukla of the Dopair Ka Samna with the Shiv Sena perspective. Now, Syed Bukhari is the brother of the Shahi Imam and he's the secretary of the Muslim Majlis-e-Amal. He has his independent views on this subject. I don't know whether he'll support the Shahi Imam tonight. He shouldn't, but let's see what he does. Sunil Alag usually takes a pro-BJP position. He's chairman of SK Advisors. But my first question tonight is to Asaduddin Oaisi, Member of Parliament of the AIMIM. Now, Asaduddin Oaisi, you can be a lifetime critic of Narendra Modi, but you can't get anti-national. You can be a critic of the BJP, but you can't go against your nation, especially against the self-respect of your own nation. And therefore, that position of Prime Minister is not just Narendra Modi, it is the office of the Prime Minister, which the Shahi Imam has insulted and humiliated. So, Asaduddin Owaisi, I believe that on this one, at least tonight, you'll have a rational position, because it's not just about the Prime Minister of India not being extended an invitation. It's about the insult to the Indian people. Where do you stand? I'll open the debate with you, Asaduddin Owaisi. Then we will get all the others in an open debate format. Go ahead.
Number one, Arnab, I don't know why you have to say all those remarks about me. And please don't question my nationalism. I am as nationalist as Mr. Arnab Goswami is. The only difference is that I don't, at every 9 p.m., I don't shout in the TV studio that I am a nationalist. Now, coming to this position of what Mr. Bukhari has done, number one, I don't accept him as an imam. The position over here is that Abdul Ghafoor was made an Imamul Sultan. That is the historical perspective. The second point is that the Jama Masjid is a Waqf property. It is not a personal fiefdom.
Come to the point.
Or a personal property of Mr. Ahmed Bukhari or the Bukhari family. Thirdly, Mr. Ahmed Bukhari does not even represent the Muslims who live outside Jama Masjid. Fourthly, let me remind you that in 2004, it was BJP who had printed pamphlets with the photo of Ahmed Bukhari supporting Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. In fact, Mr. Ahmed Bukhari was the chairman of Vajpayee Himayat Committee.
I don't know why you're making such a long introduction. Why aren't you coming to the point?
That the Muslims of India have moved from rhetoric. They want political representation. They want development with dignity.
Should check his
this is what we want. What Mr. Ahmed Bukhari has done, we do not agree with it, because Jama Masjid is not a personal property of Mr. Bukhari. It is a Waqf property. And I hope that the BJP government would fulfill the Waqf, Manshai Waqf which is there. He is not an Imam of Muslims.
You know, Mr. Owaisi, I believe you are, Mr. No, 1 second. No, 1 minute. No, 1 second. Mr. Owaisi, let me remind you what this discussion is about. Let me remind you about what this discussion is about.
Who he leads then?
Now, 1 second. Is this discussion about whether Syed Ahmed Bukhari has legitimacy or whether he's a true representative of all the Muslim community? Obviously, he's not. That's not the debate tonight. So, you know, let me not allow you, Mr. Owaisi, to dodge the question. The question is this: can you invite the Pakistani Prime Minister and try to deliberately snub the Indian Prime Minister by not inviting him? That's the simple question. I mean, I don't know why you find it difficult. I mean, we don't need to do that. We can't be, we can't turn into PR agents for the Pakistani government. Mr. Owaisi, you hear me? You hear me? We lost his line out there. Okay. We lost his line out there. Yes, you were saying something, Syed Bukhari. Go ahead. Are you going to defend your brother?
Actually, that if I come to the point that which Mr. Asaduddin raised, that Imam is not, if he is leading the prayer, then whom he is leading?
Are we here
whom
to
he's
discuss
who
about
who
what
is
the
who
role
is
of the
his
Imam, or are
followers
we going
as
to
far
get
as
to
the prayer is
point
concerned.
7, 8,
Secondly,
No, one second. They are both avoiding.
That's
the issue.
where I'm coming,
Both
yeah.
Asaduddin
That's where I
Oaisi,
come.
both Asaduddin Oaisi and Syed.
No,
Tariq
I'm not at
Bukhari
all avoiding.
Are avoiding
Just-
the
just-
issue of.
Do you feel
Are avoiding the
embarrassed
issue of
Just
about
treachery.
ask-
the Indian Prime Minister is being belittled, and you do not have the guts to say.
I am not at all avoiding the issue. Mr. Narendra Modi, I'm just quoting a line from Mr. Narendra Modi. As he is a Prime Minister of our country, दस्तार की हर तार की तहकीक है लाजिम, हर साहिब दस्तार मुअज़्ज़िज़ नहीं होता. इसी बुनियाद पे हमने मिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी को इनविटेशन नहीं भेजा है. वी हैव नॉट इनवाइटेड मिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी. We respect the post of the Prime Minister of India, and always, we will.
You know, I think Mr. Syed Tariq
We have a
Bukhari,
personal
you tried
relations
to.
with Mr.
No,
Sharif
no,
and
no.
his
1
family
minute.
since
You
last
know what
25
is? You know
years.
what is very unfortunate
Yeah, on
out
that
here.
basis
No,
we have
1
invited
second,
Mr.
Mr.
Nawaz
Bukhari.
Sharif.
Mr. Bukhari, 1 minute. You know what is unfortunate?
This is
What is
nothing
unfortunate? What
One
is
should
unfortunate
see
is
this
that I would have
step to-
expected.
for-
I would have
step
expected.
forward,
I would have
step
expected Asaduddin Owaisi to rise above politics, and I would have expected you to rise above poetry. After all, the Shahi Imam in 2001
Okay.
said there is nothing wrong with Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden is not guilty. So what if the Taliban is sheltering him? They are doing a good thing.
Not at all.
Oh yes, he said it.
Mr.
Oh yes, he
Arnab,
said it.
no, we have
Sir,
we have never supported any type of terrorism.
Sir, you
We
have supported
never.
Osama bin Laden.
I'm sorry to say,
and
Mr.
he has
Arnab, you are
said-
quoting it wrong.
He has said in an interview December
never.
2001 with India Today, where he says that Osama bin Laden is not guilty in the eyes of the Muslims, which is the kind of rubbish that Shahi Imam speaks. Not only that, the Shahi Imam, your brother, is a political opportunist. He is willing
Is this
to.
topic is this topic is not the out of
well, it is
out
relevant.
of discussion,
It
out
is
of
relevant.
agenda?
Why don't you
If
like
you
it?
ask me why
because,
we have invited
because Narendra
Mr. Nawaz
Modi.
Sharif,
No, 1
I said
second.
that
Because
answer is
the
that
question.
on personal ground we have
Mr.
invited
Bukhari,
Mr.
because
Nawaz
Mr.
Sharif.
Bukhari, I
we have a
believe.
very personal relation with
Because
his
Mr.
family
Bukhari,
since
I
last
believe.
25 years.
Mr. Bukhari, I believe that the Shahi Imam's invitation to Nawaz
I
Sharif.
don't, Mr. Arnab, I don't think it's a crime to invite a head of a country.
No, 1 second. Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India. And by inviting Nawaz Sharif at his expense, you as an Indian have granted greater legitimacy to the Prime Minister of Pakistan than the Prime Minister of your own country. That's the issue tonight. I hope Asaduddin Owaisi will rise to the occasion and talk about that.
We have clear reservations with Mr. Narendra Modi, not with the Prime Minister. We
Well,
have
you can keep your reservations. You can keep your reservations
Well, I
on
don't know,
another level.
Mr.
No,
Perhaps you,
Nalin
Mr.
Kohli.
Goswami, may I
Nalin
please come
Kohli.
in?
Yes, please, Mr. Kohli.
You know, I find this fascinating. Either Mr. Bukhari here suffers from some sort of schizophrenia or some kind of bipolarity, that he believes that we have reservations with Mr. Modi but not the Prime Minister of India. Perhaps he is in hibernation and he doesn't know that Mr. Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India. He is there because of the Constitution of India, the electorate of India. And now, whether you like or don't like, he is the Prime Minister for all, just as I do not like some Congress Prime Ministers in the past, but I respect them for being the Prime Minister of India, and I will defend that institution.
But he is not, unfortunately.
He is the Prime Minister of India.
They are behaving
Sabka
like
saath,
an extra
sabka vikas.
constitutional authority.
I don't believe in it.
They are choosing to engage with Pakistan
Prime Minister
over the
is-
institution of
now
the Prime
the
Minister.
slogan is
Nobody is asking
that
them for an
sabka-
invitation.
Why don't
Nobody will you
Syed
please
Tariq
invite Mr.
Bukhari?
I heard a lot
Syed
of
Tariq Bukhari.
That's why we have reservations
Syed
with
Tariq
Mr.
Bukhari.
and is logical and
Syed Tariq Bukhari, Kamal Farooqi is amused
This
tonight.
is not exactly where you can stand and give me
Kamal Farooqi is amused. Kamal Farooqi is amused.
Mr. Goswami, I want to finish a point.
Okay.
Mr. Goswami, my point is very clear. They have now gone into the realm of foreign policy. They have belittled India in front of nobody cares about who they call for their davats. The point here is you don't demean the institution and the constitution which you supposedly are swearing allegiance with. Secondly, what is this word Shahi? What is this title?
Yeah, what is the coronation?
Are they Rajas, no Sultans, no anyone? He's the Imam of a Masjid. He's not a Shahi Imam. The Shahi term came at the time of a Sultanate or something. That's
denies
over.
that?
We are a democracy. So I'm
He is
curious.
an imam.
What is the coronation
As
of
an
this?
imam,
He can be
as
an
an
imam
individual.
as anybody else. He can
Can't he
go on the
invite a
pulpit and
Prime
do what he
Minister of
likes.
any country
But this is not a religious
to his-
title.
to
Imam
any
may be a
function?
religious
One
title.
simple question.
I don't know on what.
One
He
simple
considers
question.
himself as the king and as a
Simple question.
representative, as a
Simple
Shahi
question,
Imam
and I
of
hope.
every Muslim.
I hope Syed Tariq Bukhari.
And they don't require him to project Muslims of India the way he's seeking to project them.
You see, the Shahi Imam, first of all, let's call him Syed Ahmed Bukhari. Syed Ahmed Bukhari's actions are shameful because he is trying to say that Nawaz Sharif has greater legitimacy in the eyes of Indian Muslims than Narendra Modi. Who is he to say so? Who is he to say so?
Mr. Arnab, you are.
This is anti-national behavior.
We don't have such feelings. We don't have such feelings.
Well, if you don't have such feelings, then why have you
is not
invited
about
Nawaz Sharif over
anti-national
Narendra Modi?
behavior. If you think that-
don't.
And if
Is
they
it-
have
is-
personal
is it a
equations
crime
with the
to
new
invite
caliph
a
of the
Prime
IS,
Minister of any
will that
country
give
in
him a
any function of-
justification to
in
invite
any
him for
function,
dinner here?
That's another rubbish explanation is provided. I'll tell you, that's not the only ridiculous explanation. One other explanation is provided where he says, and let me get Prem Shukla in, where he says, you know what, I can call anyone, it's my personal function, I have a personal equation with Nawaz Sharif, I like the man.
So will he call the Boko Haram next?
Exactly, I like Nawaz Sharif, I'll call him. Prem Shukla.
The reason given by Shahi Imam is very unfortunate. He says that why Narendra Modi should not be invited, because he has been guilty of 2002 riots of Gujarat. If this is the criteria, then why Nawaz Sharif should be invited? Because they are throwing drones. They are bombarding by drones to the innocent Muslim citizens under the leadership of Nawaz Sharif. Then why he should be invited on the same parameters? They are not Muslims, they are not citizens, they are not human beings, they are killed. They are being, genocides are being taken place in the northwest frontier of Pakistan. They are also Muslim, Baluchistan. And you are inviting him, Nawaz Sharif, as a clean person.
Happenings. Thus the talks between India and Pakistan had happened many times in the past.
No, but this is not the
And they were
occasion of
about
talks.
to sit on the table. After they disturbed, they were about to sit on the table.
So
They
you
was-
are giving a
they
message
was
to
about
the
sit on
Organization of
table
Islamic
to have
Countries
talks to resolve
that
the
there is a
issues.
divisive behavior by Narendra Modi government. What do you want
But
to
the
give?
question is,
What
the
are
question
your
is,
indications?
does
So the-
Mr.
the-
Anand-
Please
does
show me
Mr.
an
Anand says
incident
that
by which
BJP
you can
likes-
claim
BJP
that there is
BJP likes-
any biased
BJP
behavior with
likes-
the
So I asked
minority community in the Narendra Modi government.
Syed Tariq Bukhari,
to get invitation.
Mr. Bukhari.
Show me a single
of Mr.
incident
Modi by Shahi Imam
which
in
you
this
can
function.
claim this thing.
Sunil Alag wants to come into the debate, but before that, Kamal Farooqui.
We
Kamal
condemn
Farooqui,
all
please.
type
Open
of
debate now. 1
activities
second.
which is
Syed,
happening on LOC, but still,
Mr.
can't
Bukhari.
a person on
Mr.
personal
Bukhari, if you
basis-
want to apologize
This
to the
is
people
step-
of India
Mr.
on
He has
behalf of your
invited him
brother,
as the
please
Prime
do so.
Minister
As
of
a step
Pakistan,
forward.
not as a fellow Muslim brother. So how can they make this distinction? Because they are comparing it now with the institution of the Prime Minister of India.
I think Syed Tariq Bukhari has the option of apologizing to the people of India on behalf of his brother for what he has done. Kamal Farooqui, this argument being put, well, I am friends with Nawaz Sharif.
Sorry, we have no intent. We have not at all bad intention. We have not
Kamal
at all
Farooqui.
on the personal basis.
Tariq bhai, let me
there
You
is
don't have bad intentions,
not
you have
at all a
terrible
need of
intentions.
an
There's a
apology.
difference between bad and terrible.
It clearly says that.
Sorry.
This is a coronation ceremony.
What
Whom to
coronation?
invite, whom to not. Whom
What do you
not
mean
to invite,
coronation? Are you living
we
in
have
the
to decide.
16th century that you are coronating
What
someone
do you mean?
in a democracy?
What coronation? Is this your personal fiefdom?
To invite Mr. Narendra Modi.
Crazy.
One at a time. Kamal Farooqui, please. 1 second. Asaduddin Oaisi, I'm glad your audio line is back. Kamal Farooqui before that. Kamal Farooqui.
Number one, it is not coronation. Must say, please, for heaven's sake, don't demise the institution of Imam. I'm happy that what Nalin Kohli has said and what Asaduddin Owaisi bhai has said. There is no concept of Shahi Imam in the Islam at all. He could be an Imam of Shahi Masjid, but he cannot be called a Shahi Imam. I think this debate needs to be discussed at length now, number one. Number two, he should not equate himself with the government. Government to government, whosoever is my Prime Minister will be having all the right to talk, even his enemies, wherever it is. The words and ways we can talk because it is a government to government level talk. Number 3, when he is talking about, if it would have been a personal invitation for the marriage of his daughter or son or brother or anybody else, he could have called anybody, we don't mind it. But he is calling from Jama Masjid itself as an imam, which he calls himself to be a Shahi Imam. Shahi Imam means he is trying to represent himself to the entire Muslim community, because he has said this, that Muslims have not said...
do you agree on that? Do you agree on that? Do you yourself agree on that?
No, yes, I will come back to you. If you don't agree with that, Mr. Tariq Bukhari, why did you join Himayat Committee of Bajpayee ji after 2 years of those rights? Why did you join that? So please don't emotionalize the whole issue. Right now, he is my Prime Minister. Right now, he is the Prime Minister of my country. He is not the Prime Minister of BJP. He is the Prime Minister of my country. Under no circumstances, I will allow you or any other Muslim to damage the office of the Prime Minister.
Syed Tariq Bukhari, the fact is that. Okay, 1 minute, Sunil.
Let's talk of the current thing.
Mr. Bukhari, you must remember one thing.
Look at the mindset.
You know, Mr. Bukhari, you must remember one thing. Go back today and meet your brother and tell your brother that he ought to know that he is still an Indian first. And if he is an Indian with an Indian passport, he ought to have some loyalty to his own country. Now, if his political career has failed and his legitimacy is falling, and he suddenly thinks that he'll emerge as the leader of the Muslim community. He thinks that he will become a lead champion of the Muslim community by insulting the government of India and the Prime Minister of India. Then go and tell your brother that he is wrong.
He invited him in his own ceremony.
It's not his own ceremony. There's no personal association. What matters more, his personal association or the fact that there have been 100 ceasefire violations from Pakistan?
Look at the grandeur, the sense of grandeur. They are behaving as if they are a state. That if there can be an oath ceremony of the Prime Minister of India, the coronation of someone who calls himself a Shahi Imam as a chief representative of Muslims, which I'm sure is not correct. He's there going out and talking about it and equating. Look at this grandeur. Which land are we living in?
A 13-year-old girl died.
In fact, Mr. Goswami,
1 second.
This is the question that needs to be seen. That where does this term Shahi come from? And how is this term carrying on? Is this permitted under personal Muslim law board, the other imams, do they accept this as a Shahi king? I mean, and then there's a coronation. This is a larger question.
You see this, 1 minute. A man who claims to represent India as Muslim. Sunil Alag, you've been very silent on the debate. Asaduddin Oaisi, I'm coming to you.
Not at all, Arnav. We have never claimed. We have never.
You can't claim.
Any Imam of Jama Masjid never claimed.
You see, your brother is today a PR agent for the government of Pakistan. I'm sorry. Okay? He is a propagandist for the government of Pakistan.
He says Muslims have been hurt. Is that not
Sunil Alag,
that he is basically representing
Sunil Alag,
what you are saying.
Sunil Alag, why? You're an Indian. No, what's Sunil Alag, you're an Indian. You are an Indian, but you want to carry out a PR coup for Pakistan because a man says that I will give greater recognition to Nawaz Sharif than my own Prime Minister. And Pakistan will milk this.
India doesn't want to even speak to Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif appointment, but the Shahi Imam,
we are giving dignity to.
Does BJP
one second.
Shahi Imam to invite?
All right, we are giving dignity to the most insignificant person in today's economy and today's India. I think this debate itself is giving dignity to a person who doesn't deserve it. That's the first point I want to make. Both Mr. Bukhari and his brother have been trying to dodge the question because Mr. Bukhari earlier said, well, I don't have anything against the Prime Minister. My committee has decided. This is the most ridiculous statement that I've ever heard. If a committee is decided, then that entire committee is anti-national. Forget about Mr. Bukhari. Everyone is saying it's his personal invitation. He himself is saying, no, my committee has decided that we will not call Mr. Modi. No self-respecting Indian, whether it's from the Congress party or the BJP, should attend this function. Because out of the question, even if Sonia Gandhi goes, she's doing the greatest disrespect to the position of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has not been in any court of India, he's been acquitted. 1 second.
It should be seen which Indian who swears by the Constitution would want to attend such a function.
I haven't spoken. I'm speaking now as an Indian. Mr. Bukhari is doing the greatest disservice to the Muslims of India. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Hindu, whether you're a Muslim, anyone. India comes first, the Prime Minister's position comes first. Anyone who criticizes that is anti-national. As far as I'm concerned, he's a traitor and he should be treated as such. This is not a personal function. When he talks about a committee, he talks about X, he talks about Y. Why are we bringing in a situation where he's inviting, and when Mr. Modi invited, he invited the Prime Ministers of all the countries around him. Has Mr. Bukhari done that? Only Nawaz Sharif has been called to prove a point that I'm closer to Pakistan than you. The Muslims in India are closer to Pakistan than they are to our own Prime Minister. What the hell is he trying to prove? He's actually doing a disservice to whatever everybody is talking about, that Muslims and Hindus should get together. He is doing the biggest disservice. He's actually creating a division.
Okay, now let's see if Asaduddin Oaisi has anything to say on the...
Mr. Goswami, that's an important point that Mr. Alag has made. That it should be seen who wants to go and attend.
Unusually. Now the question is this. Is this an...
Please allow me.
Yeah, Kamal Farooq.
Arnab.
Okay.
Arnab, since I have to go, so I'll say only one word.
I'm with you. Go ahead.
Can I say it?
Go ahead.
Yeah, as far as I would request Tariq Sahab, first of all, never use the word coronation of Imam if it does not find anywhere. Number 2, stop calling yourself as Shahi Imam. Number 3, under no circumstances we will welcome Nawaz Sharif in Jama Masjid. Please understand, no Muslim in the country will, having all those kind of things, was what Nawaz Sharif is saying. He is not welcomed in Jama Masjid area at all. These are the 3 things which you please people must understand.
When he visited Jama
Masjid, that does not mean that you would
should any self-respecting Indian attend that ceremony? Should any self-respecting Indian attend that ceremony? Should any self-respecting Indian attend a ceremony in which there has been an open attempt to insult the Prime Minister of India and turn...
How many of them go there too? I don't think any self-respecting Indian who believes in the concept of India and the Constitution of India would ever want to be seen anywhere close to that ceremony. And more so, we'd like to see who are the others, non-Indians who would like to select to go and there at the cost of when you're demeaning the Prime Minister's institution. I think that's a valid point that Sunil Alag has raised, and that should be seen till the very end. The coronation, what do they mean by a coronation in a democracy and in a country that has moved way beyond all this?
In the ceremony?
Who?
Does BJP want us to invite the Prime Minister in this ceremony? Ask the
How
panelists.
dare you reduce the Prime Minister's institution to a barter system that you feel we are begging that you should invite the Prime Minister of
Does
India?
BJP want
How
that?
dare you reduce it and demean
Does
it even
BJP
further,
want that, Mr.
Bukhari?
Yadav?
Is that the question? Is that the question? No, is that the question?
You are demeaning the Constitution of which you claim benefits, and you say that this is what citizens should get. How can you ever do that?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
Inviting a
And
Prime
now you
Minister of a
deny.
particular country
So are you trying to
is not
say
a crime.
that all of us here are deaf and don't understand what you are doing?
Do you think nobody can see through it?
Yes,
and 1
controversy
second,
is there.
and how do I believe? No, how do I believe? How do I believe tonight? Mr. Bukhari, Mr. Bukhari,
step forward on personal
Mr. Bukhari, you are an Indian.
To ease the tension.
Keep your politics aside. And the Congress party.
Yeah, I'm an Indian, alhamdulillah.
If you're an Indian, then why are you a propagandist for the Pakistanis? Why are you? Nawaz Sharif has no legitimacy in his own country today. He has no supporters in his own country. The only supporter for Nawaz Sharif today is the Shahi Imam.
Does that mean you will invite the chief of the ISI?
It is ridiculous, Mr.
Would you also invite all the Pakistani soldiers who cut the heads of Indian soldiers? What kind of excuses are you giving, Mr. Bukhari?
We condemn that. We condemn that. We condemn that. We
You condemn that.
Then why are you calling Nawaz Sharif?
My relatives
but
over
we will
there.
not have a good relationship with the Prime Minister of India. The Prime Minister of India. What a joke is this, Mr. Bukhari? If anything, you should be cancelling your events.
First Prime Minister of India should act like the Prime Minister of
India. And you should apologize to the nation.
नारा
and
देते
every
हैं
Indian,
सबका साथ सबका विकास, लेकिन सबका साथ
because you have
सबका
done great
विकास
service to every Indian. Disservice to every Indian.
And what matters more, your personal association with Sharif or the fact that he supports the ISI? Your personal association with Sharif or the terrorism which he pushes into India? The personal association with Sharif or Hafiz Syed, the mastermind, continues to be a free man, spews venom against Indians on our soil. And I question your patriotism tonight.
We are not discussing
I question your patriotism tonight. I question your patriotism tonight, Mr. Bukhari.
Why are you belittling the institution of the Prime Minister of India?
What personal grounds? What personal grounds? You are calling, you are trying to demean the position of the Prime Minister of India.
Does BJP want us to invite Mr. Narendra Modi?
Who cares who you invite, but how dare you invite the Prime Minister of Pakistan?
Not at all. Why are they so condemnable?
We don't care who you invite, Mr. Bukhari. But we do care. And as an Indian, I'm saying it first. When you belittle the Prime Minister of India, which is an institution, it has nothing to do with your coronation. It doesn't go from father to son just because the father wants his 18 or 19-year-old son to enjoy the perks that come with the position. This is the Prime Minister of India with the largest democracy which votes for it. This is the Prime Minister who swears by the Constitution. How dare you belittle that?
Asaduddin Oaisi, I think I've got the audio line with you, but you are choosing to be a very quiet participant on the debate tonight. My question to you is just to bring you back to the debate. 1 second, Mr. Bukhari. Every self-respecting Indian should not be.
It's not a crime inviting a Prime Minister.
1 second. Take your politics somewhere else. This terrible, manipulative, low-level politics.
Everywhere.
Low-level politics.
We have to keep.
And in any case,
as good as possible with the neighboring
and in any case,
so what we have invited.
In any case, your brother is a political opportunist. He backs the Congress party for the Lok Sabha elections.